Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm from Amanda Crochets, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this super soft marshmallow fluff scarf. This scarf measures approximately 7.5 inches wide by 64 inches long. You can always customize this scarf to be longer or shorter, as well as narrow or wider, whatever you choose. This scarf is made using a super soft chenille yarn, so if you've never used this type of yarn before, it's really nice to work with. You just have to make sure your tension is a little bit more tight than if you were to use a regular worsted weight yarn. This is super soft, so it'll keep you nice and warm during the winter season. So let's get started on making the Marshmallow Fluff Scarf. Okay, so for today I'm going to be using the Michaels brand loops and threads, and this is the Chenille Home Slim, and this is 218 yards, 8.8 ounces, 200 meters, and 250 grams. And this is the color cream, and it's classified as a number 6 super bulky weight yarn, and it is 100% polyester, machine wash warm, and dry flat, do not iron. The recommended hook size is an L11 or 8mm crochet hook. So they have a few different colors in this line. I really like this cream color. I just wanted something neutral and pretty for the winter season. And I am going to be using the recommended hook size, which is an L11 or 8mm crochet hook. You're going to need one skein of the loops and threads Chenille Home Slim in any color that you would like, and your L crochet hook. So let's begin today's tutorial. Okay, with this yarn, I highly recommend using a little bit of a longer tail, so that way you can weave your end in. And also with this yarn, I would not pull super tight, because if you pull really tight, it's going to break easily. So for my scarf, I made a chain of 140. You can always make any number of chains that you would like, as there's no chain multiple. This is just as you can make the scarf as long as you like. We're actually going to be working lengthwise instead of widthwise, so we're going to make the chain really long until your desired length. Now what I like to do is I like to make a chain, and then I kind of wrap it around my neck to see if it's as long as I would like it to be, and if not, I increase or decrease the amount of chains that I have. So looking at the scarf, instead of working in rows the short way or the width way, we're going to be working the length of the scarf instead. So again, for my scarf, I did 140 chains. You can make whatever amount of chains that you would like, as this is just a simple tutorial. I'm just going to be making a chain of 15. So make a chain, you're going to yarn over your hook and pull through that loop on your hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue until you have 140 chains or your desired length. Okay, so once you have your 140 chains or your desired length, we can go ahead and begin row 1. For row 1, we're going to make 1 half double crochet into the second chain from your hook. So that loop on your hook does not count. You're going to count 2 chains, 1 and 2. And in that second chain, you're going to yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that second chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And that is your half double crochet. Now if you are a beginner and have trouble with the ends of your projects, I highly recommend getting a stitch marker and putting it right here on the top of that very first half double crochet. That will indicate the stitch, so that way when you go back around, this will now be the end of your stitch. So if you turn your work, that'll be the last stitch of the row. so you'll know to go into that stitch and not miss it. So for row 1, we're going to continue making 1/2 double crochet in each of the chains across. So yarn over your hook, go right into that next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Continue making 1/2 double crochet in each of the chains across. When you finish with row 1, I will show you how to move on to row 2. Okay, here's the end of row 1, and again I would put a stitch marker in the top of that very last stitch, and as you make more rows you're just going to move your stitch marker up. So your first row is complete. We're going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn. The chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So in that very first stitch right here, we're going to work a 1/2 double crochet in the back loop only. So if you turn your work, you can see the top of your stitch, and this is the back loop and this is the front loop. So we're going to go right here in the back loop only. So in that very first stitch, you're going to turn your work, yarn over, you're going to find that back loop, yarn over, pull through, and this might be a little bit tricky, but be patient and you will get your stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and move your stitch marker up to this stitch. You're going to do this for the remainder of your scarf. So yarn over, find that next back loop, insert your hook into that back loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And by going into that back loop, you actually create a little bit of a ridge, which is that beautiful texture that you see. So continue finding that back loop and make a 1/2 double crochet into the back loop. Do this all the way across, and I will show you how to continue onto row 3. Came over at the end of row 2, and as you can see this little bit of a ridge here, that is by working in the back loop only. So for rows 3 through 10, you're going to repeat row 2, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and in that very first stitch you're going to make a 1/2 double crochet in the back loop only. And you're going to make a 1/2 double crochet in the back loop only all the way across, and this is again for rows 3 through 10. If you would like to make your scarf wider, you can go ahead and do so by adding more rows, and just be aware that if you want to make your scarf a different size than what I have, you're going to need another skein of yarn. So just continue making your 1/2 double crochets in the back loop only of each stitch across. I would work very slowly if you're not used to working with the chenille yarn. It can be a little bit tricky, but I really like working with it as it's super soft and it's very cozy to work with, especially in the winter season. So once you have your 10 rows, you can go ahead and end your row. So let me go ahead and finish up this row, and I will show you how to weave in your ends. Okay, so once you finish your 10 rows or your desired width of your scarf, we can go ahead and weave in our ends. So again, with the chenille yarn, I like to leave a little bit extra long of a tail just to weave that in. And I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through that tail, and I'm going to tighten Again, don't pull too tightly or your yarn will break easily. This yarn does have a tendency to shed a little bit, just like this, so just be aware of that. Okay, so you're going to use a tapestry needle. And I like to go in between the stitches in 3 different directions to really secure my end. And because it is a thicker yarn, I like to go back and forth a few times just to really secure it. And then I'm going to skip this stitch right here, and I'm going to go into the next stitch and just go back. And then finally I'm going to go in one more direction to really secure that. And you're going to do the same for the other end of your scarf as well. Okay, once you feel like your scarf is, or the tail end is secure, you're going to go right next to the fabric and you're going to cut your tail and pull off that extra fluff, and then you're all complete. So this is just what 3 rows looks like, but if you had more rows you could really see the texture. So let me grab my scarf, and as you could see, you could see that nice texture with the back loop only. I really like the scarf a lot, and I can't wait to use it for the cold winter season ahead, and I am going to really enjoy cozying up with this scarf. You can make this in a variety of different colors. You don't have to make it in the same cream color that I did. Again, I just wanted something neutral and cozy warm. So thank you so much for joining me today on learning how to make the Marshmallow Fluff Scarf. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe to see all future videos by me. And as always, happy crocheting! Bye!